Good morning. It is good to be back with you again this morning in the Hope for Hospitality Leaders section. And I want to just share there was a Bible story where the children of Israel, they come to the Red Sea. They're freed from Egypt. They're getting ready to go to the promised land, and God marches them right into a dead end. And I imagine all the people looking at Moses going, "You marched us to the sea. There's no boats here. There's no fleet. And the army of Pharaoh is behind us and they want to kill us. This is a bad plan. You've led us to a dead end and there's no hope." And you know what? Some of us may be going through that. I went through it in the month of February and into March where you question God. This is not a good plan, what I'm going through in my life right now. In the month of February, the nonprofit ministry that I run, we feed kids every day. We house homeless young men. We got all kinds of things that we do to help others. And all of a sudden, the money dried up when this COVID crisis hit. People weren't giving. The donations stopped. And I've got 7 families, that rely on our ministry staff-wise, let alone all the young people that we feed and care for. And I went a month without a paycheck. God, what are you doing? This is not a good plan. I got a mortgage coming up. I got other things to do. What are we going to do with the payments? What am I going to do for my staff? How do I look these people in the eye who worked for me and say to them, "You got no job, you got no money"? And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You may be thinking, "God, this is a bad plan. You've marched me into a dead end. Where are you? Are you even real? If you're real, do you care? Do you understand what I'm going through?" And listen, God understood exactly what he was doing when the children of Israel came to the Red Sea. He was going to get rid of their enemies once and for all. He was going to show his people his love and his amazing power. But boy, before he did it, were they terrified and afraid. It was a long night when the wind blew all night long to divide up the sea. When Charlton Heston did it on television, he just waved his arms and the sea split. But in the Bible story, it says the wind blew all night. It took all night to divide the sea and to dry up the ground so that the people, the women, children, the animals could all march through on dry ground and not sink in and get stuck. And when they did that, and then on the other side, God closed the sea over Pharaoh and his armies, and they sang and celebrated and were joyful. On the other side, they all thanked God, but boy, in the middle, they were ready to hang Moses. They were ready to kill their leader. They were ready to curse God, and they wished they had gone back and been slaves. And you may relate to that. I think the whole month of February, many times I prayed, "God, what are you doing?" Month of March, coming towards the end of March, Lord, I get paid twice a month. I've missed my first paycheck. Okay, but I've never missed 2. I've never had to wait this long. And all of a sudden now I miss the second payroll of the month. And then the staff's payroll is coming up and I'm not going to be able to pay them. God, what are you doing? I don't even know how to answer. And I needed to just have faith that God knows and he loves me. He's coming through for me. I remember a Sunday afternoon, Monday, I was going to miss my second paycheck and not be able to pay my mortgage. And Sunday afternoon, a man called me on the phone and said, "How much money do you need to pay all of the bills through the end of April?" This is at the end of March. He said, "I mean, getting caught up, paying all your staff back wages, and paying all the bills through the end of April." And I was afraid to give him the number. 7 full-time staff people, all of their needs, back roll pay. And I told him. He said, "I'll be over with the check right away for the back wages. And then I want to give you $10,000 more on top of it as a matching grant to see if you can get other people to give and to stop being so playing it safe and hoarding what we have and open up their resources and give." And so that day, I got my paychecks back wages, and so did all of my staff. And then the $10,000 matching was given, and I thought it would take a month. I'd have to write a prayer letter. I'd have to try to contact all our supporters. No, no, no. By the end of the week, before I even wrote the letter, all 10,000 more had come in, and that wasn't the end of it. We did qualify for some help with the Paycheck Protection Program. God allowed most of our staff all got our stimulus checks on time from the government. And then grant money started pouring in. You're feeding kids right now? Let me give you some money. Dunkin' Donuts came through. Another foundation came through. M&T Bank. Certain ones just came through. I want to give extra right now. I know other people are hurting, but God's blessed me. And then somebody came and said, I want to give you $10,000 more. And I want you to go buy gift certificates and gift cards from every business. See, I live in a small town, and there's so many mom and pop shops, little bakeries, delis, restaurants, tiny little stores, and they're all hurting and they're closing or their businesses are drying up. And he's like, go around and buy $10,000 worth of business for them for the future. It'll get them money today. And then with your ministry working with the poor, you can use those gift cards to bless people in the future when businesses reopen. Boy, I thought God had a bad plan. I thought we would barely make it if we made it at all. I had no idea God was going to turn the plans of the enemy on its head. And now, instead of being in need, God has made us the supplier, the people who can give and take care of others. I can't believe it, but it's true. I don't know what God has in store for you. I can't promise you tomorrow he'll flip a switch and everything will be okay. And I know that, boy, the month, half of February and all of March was a dark time when we juggled day by day, sometimes minute by minute. It's almost 4 o'clock. When is these payments going to come out? Will I be able to get any money at all in the bank? Will we make it? Listen, you have a God who doesn't have a bad plan. We live in a broken world, but even in the broken world, God can use it, and he can turn this into a way for you to bless others. So can I encourage you today? Look for a way to bless somebody else. It may be financially, maybe you're doing okay, but if not, bless somebody with your encouraging words. Bless them, take them a meal, bless them with a card, bless them in some way to offer hope. God doesn't have a bad plan. We just have a broken world, and that means we need to have a bold faith. Be encouraged today. God loves you. He hears you. He'll be coming for you.